So I just released the video on what kind of gas mileage you can expect to get out of a V8 5.7 liter Toyota Tundra. And so today I'm going to be kind of doing the opposite end of the spectrum, where I'm doing the exact same truck, but I am absolutely loaded down. I'm headed back to college, and I've got a trailer with the Renegade on it, all TIMEBOMB, and I've got a motorcycle. I've been doing a couple videos on that as well, but I'm gonna run over to the gas station and so we can just start fresh there. But the trip is gonna be overall about 170 to 175 miles. So it'll be completely interstate. I haven't decided what speed I'm gonna go, because I know if I break over 75 miles an hour, the speed limit in Arkansas is 75. If I go over that, I will say it falls on its face, this truck does. I do have the 410 gears in, which are designed for towing, and but I have been pulling around, I've been pulling around 3 4-wheelers. I've had 1 in the bed and 2 on the back, and currently I'm averaging what the truck says is 8.9 miles a gallon. And so I've got a little bit lighter, and I'm gonna go a little bit slower and try to hopefully mitigate my loss of miles per gallon. Yeah, we're good. But this truck for whatever reason loves third gear, and I could be going 75, 80 miles an hour, and it will downshift into third and fourth gear and hold it forever if it chose to. But I'm gonna do my best to keep it. Got my girl here. I'm gonna do my best to keep it in at least 5th gear. It doesn't, for whatever reason, it just does not like to hold that. I don't know what it is about these Toyota trucks, but I've heard that the Tacomas are even worse about it, where they're just constantly hunting for gears, is what they call it. But I'm hoping to get around 10 to 11 miles a gallon. Like I said, I'm pretty loaded down, but I think we can squeeze it out of it. I'll have to show you what my average speed is, because I may be going 65 to get it, but I think we can squeeze it out of this thing. What do y'all think? But I'll jump right on into the video. I'm gonna stop up here at the gas station, get me some gas, and start it off from there, and I'll get you the full everything as we go. Now here's a look at the truck and trailer setup that we have going on here. These are 305 65 or 18 Nitto Terra Grappler G2s. These are supposed to get like 85,000 miles or something crazy. They're a lot less aggressive than anything I've ever run on this truck, but we're kind of headed that way. I just need something for school and for towing. I'm not as much into the off-roading the truck as I used to be. I've got other toys for that now. Normally I've got a Jeep up in there, but I have it at one of my buddy's houses. But now we've got the four-wheeler, we've got the motorcycle for just around town, and this is pretty much just my tow rig now. But it's got a 4-inch Fabtech Lift. This comes with the knuckle as well as the spacer and the upper control arm. So that whole knuckle is aftermarket, and it's got that small spacer there, and then just a block in the rear. So nothing too crazy. And these are about a 34 by 12-inch tire. So a little bit heavier, a little bit bigger, taller, wider than the Ridge Grapplers that I had before, but they're a lot less aggressive, and so they should get a little bit better gas mileage. We'll see how that turns up, but especially for right now, these things are heavy. So I've got, like I said, this is a 1000 Renegade. It probably weighs 1,400 pounds. The trailer, I'm gonna guess, weighs about 1,500. I don't know. It's a pretty heavy duty trailer. but it is only a single axle. And then we have this. I'm guessing it weighs, I don't know. It's pretty stripped down, so I'd say it weighs like 500 pounds. So overall, maybe like 3,000 to 4,000 pounds that this is pulling. Then I've got a little bit of stuff back here. It's mostly just tools. And then I have it loaded down with mostly just like clothes and books and stuff. So, but anyway, here's a look at the overall trailer and truck setup, just to give you kind of an idea of what we're pulling. And then we'll see how well we pull it once we get down on the interstate. All right, we're gonna reset my miles per gallon, and I'm gonna reset Trep A. All right, and let's see how many miles we have till we get there. All right, so we only actually have 119 miles to get there. It's honestly not too bad. And I mapped it to the closest gas station I could find right off my exit in Fayetteville. So that ought to give us a good representation of what you would get on these longer, this isn't too long of a trip, but on a longer interstate drive with a trailer. And then I'll let you know how fast we end up going on the way. Now, since I am trying to squeeze every little bit I can out of this truck, my goal is to have no hard accelerations, and I'm gonna be maintaining a relatively similar speed. Where I am going, it is really up and down some hills for the last probably 50 miles. And so, Dixie Girl's not wearing a seatbelt, it's beeping at me. But I'm hoping that it doesn't skew the results too much. I'll give you an update before we get to the hills, and then I'll show you exactly kind of what kind of hills we're dealing with, and then show you what it gets as a result of the full 119 miles that we're going to be going. So buckle up and let's get on down the road. All right, this is exactly what I was talking about, where it just likes to hold third gear. I've set cruise at 70. It did downshift or upshift, but I've set it at 70. The tire pressure sensor is just out. I'm not running low tire pressure, but I'm gonna set it at 70, and I'm gonna get probably 50 miles down the road, and then I'm gonna see if I might drop it down to 65, but I'll give you an update on that, depending on what kind of gas mileage we're getting at 70. All right, so we are about to hit 50 miles, and our gas mileage, swing around to it, we are getting, oh gosh, we are getting 10.3. It beats the 8.9 we were getting before. We're gonna drop to 65, just like that. It'll catch up here in a second, and I'm gonna reset that and hopefully get a little better gas mileage the last 70 miles or so on this trip. But Dixie's being a good girl. She's complaining that I'm not petting her right at this second. So, all right, the math is not mathing on the total distance that I have to travel. So I think it actually is 160. Once I get there, I'm gonna actually map it back to my house and see, because I was pretty sure it was 160, but it told me 119 on maps, but I'm not believing that, because I'm at 58 miles right now, and I've still got 50 miles until the turnoff from going toward Fort Smith. That turns you up toward Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers area, and I'll have at least another 40 miles after that. So I think it's going to be at least like 150 miles overall. So I don't know where it came up with the 119 miles, but that's what Apple Maps said. Thank you. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but when this guy gets closer, I'm going to show you. He's got a ski mask in his passenger seat that looks like what you would have in like a horror movie. But when he comes up and tries to pass me, I'm going to show you what it looks like in there. All right, so here he comes. Look in that passenger side. For you, it should be on the right. All right, tell me that doesn't look like it's the barrel of a tank. Here, I'm going to pull up on it. Tell me this doesn't kind of look like the barrel of a tank. I don't know what else that would be right there. All right, so we have done the past 23 miles, and we are now averaging 12 miles per gallon. That is with a 65 mile per hour speed, set at 65 miles per hour, but we are obviously being passed by everyone. And so I'm going to speed it up to 80 just for a little bit, just to show you guys, 12.1, just to show you guys how bad this actually gets if you want to go, I don't know, the speed limit. So we're gonna get on up here and get to 80. All right, I've had about enough of that. We have 8.4 miles per gallon averaging at 80 miles per hour, and that is over the past 20 miles. I'm gonna have to slow down because I can't afford to burn a full tank of gas just going to school. So we're gonna back off and go back to 65 for the rest of the trip. I'll show you what we're at when we get to the turnoff, and then I'll reset the miles per gallon there and show you what we get when we're up in the hills. All right, so over the past 20 miles, I've stayed at 65. I'm now getting off to go toward Fayetteville, so we're gonna be getting into a little bit more hilly areas. But so right now we're at 11.7 miles per gallon while going 65. Reset it, we're gonna go 65 the rest of the way. But as we make this turn, it's gonna get a lot more hilly, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that, and try to show kind of the difference in the altitude changes. But yeah, we're gonna stick around 65, and I'll let you know where we end up at miles per gallon wise. All right, so here's kind of an example of the kind of hills we're going up and down. I'd say it's honestly just a beautiful view, but man, does that hurt. Hurts the wallet for sure. You can see I've stuck at 65. There have been a couple times where the truck kind of falls on its face and it actually dropped down to 55. I just didn't touch the gas. But it kind of gets to the point on some of these steep hills where it'll be going up the hill and then it'll just kind of like fall on its face. I feel like it'll do it on this hill because this one's one of the steeper hills. It's probably going to downshift here in a second. It's holding it. I'm surprised. Usually in situations like this, it drops it, shoots it up to about 5,000 RPM, and then falls on its face and drops down, and just kind of like, it's like the cruise control just completely gives up. But it's holding 65. All right, we have 2 more exits until mine. We are averaging 9.5 after 147.7 miles. I'm gonna get up to a gas station and I'm gonna calculate up the final miles per gallon. My average speed so far, let's see, 66 miles per hour. So this will be about what you can expect doing this kind of trip with this kind of truck. Obviously between brands is going to be a little bit different. This is only a 6-speed, which of course plays into it a lot. A lot of the newer trucks are 7 or 8 speeds, and so I know that if you're just generally looking at a truck, you might get a little bit better gas mileage than I'm getting. But if you're looking at a Tundra, this is pretty much on average. Honestly, like, yeah, 9.5 is about what I usually average pulling a trailer, pretty much any time. And one thing I will say, it will get about 9.5 whether you're pulling an empty trailer or a trailer with a Jeep on it. This one, of course, I mean, you know, it's got the 4-wheeler and the motorcycle. Overall, I'd say the weight is probably 3,000 pounds maybe. 3,000 pounds on the trailer, plus it's kind of a little bit heavier trailer. I don't have an estimate on the weight of that, maybe, but let's say tentatively 4,500 pounds, something like that. But that's a rough estimate. And then of course we've got all the stuff in here behind me, but I mean, that's not more than, I don't know, 100 pounds of stuff. But I mean, not terrible, but definitely could be better on Toyota's part. I've been real easy on the gas as far as best I could. But let me get you up here to this gas station and we'll do a final calculation. I know y'all have all been waiting for this. All right, we made it here. Everything's still all here. 14.686 gallons. I did top it off one time, just like that. Okay, that was how we started out. 14.943 gallons. We're gonna look at how far we actually went with this tank. All right, so I just did the numbers. I traveled 157 miles and it used 14.943 gallons. And so I averaged almost exactly 10.5 miles. I got like 0.003 miles per gallon better than 10.5 on average. It was about $50, so that would be, let's see. I'm gonna do the math and try to figure out how many dollars per mile that is, in case you're doing this kind of stuff for work. All right, so it is right under 33 cents per mile in case you're doing some sort of business work, but kind of expensive, not gonna lie. Didn't get as good a gas mileage as I thought I would, especially going 65 the whole way, but I mean, beats 8.5, right? I didn't feel like this was that heavy of a load, to be honest. I've definitely pulled a lot more and gotten between that 9.5 and 10.5 mark. I really thought I could get a little bit better gas mileage out of it, I'm not gonna lie. But I guess it is what it is. But I hope this video kind of helps you out, shows you kind of what kind of gas mileage to expect out of a lifted vehicle, especially when towing. You know, it's just, I mean, it's like a brick floating through the wind, is what I said in the last video. But I mean, it's a Toyota, so you get the reliability, but man, does it eat away at gas. But hope this helped you out. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. I've got all sorts of more stuff coming with the Jeep, the motorcycle, the truck, and the four-wheeler. So if you enjoy any of those type of things, then you'll love my videos. So appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you next time.